Hi guys, just doing my preview for the England against New Zealand Rugby World Cup semi-final for Saturday. Should be a great game and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to talk about the teams now. Lineups for Saturday, starting with England. The only change they've made is bringing back George Ford into number 10, so Owen Farrell moves to 12 and Manu Tuolangi moves to 13, which suggests to me England are going to play with a bit more width with ball in hand and with a bit more of a kicking game possibly as well. And it also suggests to me that they're going back to the Ford Farrell 10-12 axis, that Eddie Jones trusts that more in big games. I personally don't see why, as I think the Farrell Tuolangi and Slade in the middle combination works a bit better, and I think Farrell's a better 10 than a 12. But we'll see how that goes. New Zealand, the only change they've made is bringing in Scott Barrett for Sam Cane. Scott Barrett moves to 6 and Artie Savia moves to 7, which suggests to me they're going to be looking to be a lot more physical in the breakdown than they have been so far this tournament. And it also suggests to me that they're going to look to target the English line out more with 3 second rows in there. And that could also keep England guessing a bit on their own ball as well, possibly. Key areas of this match, I think, to focus on the breakdown and the set pieces. As I said, I think a lot of this match is going to be won and lost around the physicality and who gets the upper hand in those areas, in the scrums, in the rucks, and in the lineouts as well. I think defence is going to be key. Both teams have had very good defences this World Cup so far. New Zealand especially I've been impressed with. Their defence, I think, basically won them the matches against South Africa and Ireland. Against South Africa, when they were on the back foot for large parts in that first 20-25 minutes, their defence kept them in the game and kept the score down to 3-0, and then New Zealand went ahead and scored a couple of tries. Defence against Ireland, really rock solid as well, and only creaked a little bit when it was too late, and Ireland got through and scored a couple of tries. Accuracy as well is, of course, going to be very key. Who can be accurate when they have the ball? Who can get it right in the key moments as well, and who can be more accurate off the tee, I think could be key as well. Now, Owen Farrell obviously is a very accurate kicker. He was back to his best against Australia in the quarterfinals with his goal kicking. But you've also got Richie Mo'unga, who I've actually been pretty impressed with. I know he missed a few conversions against Ireland, but he didn't really need to kick those kicks as the game was over. But overall, his kicking's been actually pretty good so far. And I think he's also taken the weight off Beauden Barrett a bit, and Beauden Barrett can now, from fullback, just play and enjoy his rugby. And he's looking, in my opinion, Beauden Barrett's looking better for that. And the fact he's got more space from fullback to come in from as well, and to know where to pick holes in the defences. I've been very impressed with Barrett at fullback this tournament so far. I think, as I said, the line-out's going to be key. I think there's going to be a lot of kicking in this match as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's a suggestion of why they brought George Ford back, like I said. But I think this is where they could have done better with Farrell at 10 England, because I think playing the sort of Saracens way they do sometimes, they'll look to kick for field position and look to box kick and get in behind the New Zealand wingers to put them under pressure and then disrupt and tackle the breakdown. Both England wingers are flying and they're going to be right up there trying to put pressure on the New Zealand wingers. But equally, New Zealand can have as good a kicking game. I think they'll look to play the high up and unders a bit more. Target Elliot Daly at full back, as well as try and put pressure on the England back three. I think they'll look for field position a lot, New Zealand, because they'll be wanting to target the lineouts with their selection. I think they'll be comfortable trying to kick it behind the back field into the corners and put pressure on the England lineout as much as they can. It's what more or less won them the game against England at Twickenham last year with those 3 lineout steals by Retallick. And I think also mentality is going to be key as well, absolutely, for both teams. We know New Zealand, they're going to be mentally pretty strong throughout the whole game. I think they showed that this tournament so far. They've been very mentally astute and they've got it right at the right times, because before this tournament there was a few doubts about them. Oh, are they as good as 2015? But they're now clicking at the right times and look really good. England's mentality, I still have question marks over. You just look to the Six Nations games against Wales and Scotland where they collapsed mentally in both second halves and the momentum just completely swung against them. I think if it's a tight game going into the second half or the momentum completely swings to the All Blacks' favour, that could count against England, and I'm not sure if they can get out of it. If that happens, I think with Owen Farrell as captain as well. I think Owen Farrell's a very good rugby player, but I'm not convinced with him as a captain yet. I could be proven wrong, of course, but that's just my thoughts going into the game, and that's all I think about that. My predictions overall, I think it is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be decided by a mistake or a moment of genius overall. And as I said, I think if England struggle with momentum in the second half, that could swing things into the All Blacks' favour. Because I just don't see teams that win World Cups have those kind of collapses that England did against Wales and against Scotland in the Six Nations. I know New Zealand had a second half collapse against Australia in the Rugby Championship, but they were down to 14 men then, so you can kind of understand it a bit more. But I just think with how New Zealand have been this World Cup, they're not going to go away at all. They're going to be very tough, and that is where it's going to swing towards New Zealand for me. I think New Zealand will win this by about 5 to 7 points, but it should be a cracking game, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed what I had to say in this video. Look forward to the game on Saturday. I've got another preview coming up of South Africa against Wales, which will either be out later today or tomorrow. I'll see how I go. Take care, and I'll catch you later on.